Sports is brought to you by All Out Auto Repair, home of the $46 Saskatchewan and $66 Alberta Safety Inspection. Your complete automotive repair.
The border city is buzzing with Allan Cup action, with the hometown team taking a huge win last night. Now here's Moses Woldu at the Civic Centre. Moses.
Well, Lauren, it's day two, and day one was fantastic. The Lloydminster Border Kings had an unreal game taking on the Kenora Thistles. They looked slow, but they picked it up, winning 7-4. I'm pleased to be joined by, I guess we could call you associate coach now, Aaron Foster. Thank you for joining us, and we'll start off with the big win yesterday. Slow legs, but you definitely picked it up there.
Yeah, well, we kind of expected that starting off the bat, with 6 weeks of practice and haven't played a game in 6 weeks. So we knew we were going to get off, we knew we were going to have lots of energy, but it was just a way to, kind of contain that energy. And, we didn't get the great start we wanted to with the penalties and stuff, kind of didn't give us our chance to get our legs underneath of us. But, in the end of it, we ended up the game the way we wanted to, so.
Yeah, and a win's a win. It doesn't matter how it comes by. Let's talk about the leadership of Dallas Fallscheer and what he did on the ice, and what you thought of his performance as well.
Oh, Dallas, he's a great leader, and he kind of controls that back end. He helps the younger guys, and he leads by example. And he did a great job last night. I think he had 2 or 3 points, and getting the pucks on net and playing physical, and being a force out there every time. He was around the puck and finishing checks and stuff like that. So.
And what can we see from the team tonight against Stony Plain?
Well, Stony Plain, we know what they're like. They have a few big bodies up front. It's going to be a physical game. Obviously, we've played them 4 times this year. We know a little bit of what they're like, but they've been playing well. They're probably the hottest team coming to this tournament. Nobody expected them to be here, at this stage. Coming out of Alberta, the tough province and stuff. But they played well, and it's going to be a great game. And hopefully, we can step it up a notch and compete with them. So,
Aaron, good luck to your team tonight.
Thank you.
All right, that was Aaron Foster. Of course, he was the team captain. Still is always the captain. And the associate coach now with the Lloydminster Border Kings. Big game tonight. Of course, we just touched on Dallas Fallscheer, the guy who's kind of taken over the reins a little bit too. He's definitely added to some of the leadership from the back end, and we talk about him in today's edition of The Road to the Allan Cup.
Don't get too high, don't get too low. Just stay even keel and see how it plays out in the end.
That seems to be Dallas Fallscheer's moniker. Never wavering, focused, relaxed. It was one of the reasons why Fallscheer was chosen captain.
He's just such a calm, composed man on the bench, on the ice, in the room. He just really gives the team, that quiet confidence.
For Fallscheer, it was a thrill to don the captaincy, but he says that hasn't changed the way he plays or the way he interacts with teammates.
Not at all. I think Stony put the A on me before, and right from day one when I came in here, probably I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. Just use my experience, lead by example. I'm not the most vocal guy, probably maybe a little too negative on guys and a little too hard on guys at times, but I hope I got the respect in the room and guys will listen to me and be a strong leader for the team.
And that type of leadership is not lost.
Leads by example. He's a great player. That first pass, the power play, he's offensive. He does everything right.
This will likely be Fallscheer's last chance to win another Allan Cup. He's contemplated not returning next year and is soaking it all in.
It's probably been one of the most enjoyable years. I took last year off, and it's been pretty fun. The last 5 weeks have been a bit of a grind, doing a little bit of traveling back and forth from Cold Lake where I reside now. But it's throughout the year it's fun to get back at her, fun to do it at home, and pretty excited right now.
Moses Woldu, NEWCAP Sports.
The Road to the Raider Well Servicing Allan Cup is brought to you by Fort Garry Industries Lloydminster. For parts, for trailers, Fort Garry Industries is the trucker's best friend.
Dallas Fallscheer definitely helping out in the back end, getting a goal himself too, helping that team to a 7-4 victory. They have a game tonight taking on the Stony Plain Eagles. Once again, $20 at the door, 8 o'clock game time. It's going to be a big game because if the Border Kings do win, that means they get a bye straight to the semifinals and get 2 days rest. So that is going to be big, getting those bodies rested for that big push for Friday and Saturday. So again, 8 o'clock game time against the Stony Plain Eagles. That's all the time we have here at the Civic Center. We'll send it right back to you in the studio, Lauren.
Sports is brought to you by All Out Auto Repair, home of the $46 Saskatchewan and $66 Alberta Safety Inspection. Your complete automotive repair.
The Grand Falls-Windsor Cataracts began their pursuit for the Allan Cup on day 2 this afternoon against the Southeast Prairie Thunder. Now, despite the extra day's rest, the Cataracts would be in tough against the Thunder, who won their first game 2-1 over Rosetown yesterday. First period, Matt Quinn races down the wing, gets in close and fires, but can't beat Justin Harris. Same frame, the Thunder trying to find some offense. They scored just 2 goals in game 1, but still won. They nearly get a lucky deflection off Devin LeBlanc, but no dice. With 1 minute left in the first, Tim Pleat tries to barge through traffic, gets hauled down in the crease. Thunder would fail to score on the man advantage. Just over halfway through the second, we finally see some scoring. Cataracts with an unorthodox tic-tac-toe play. Matthew Toomey finishes off for their first goal of the tourney. But back the other way, Rob Smith fires one on net. It goes off a Cataract skate and in. The game is tied at 1 heading into the final frame. Less than 5 minutes in, LeBlanc's wrister fools the Cataracts tender, but it won't cross the line. Minutes later, the Thunder working down low finds Andres Strom alone in the slot, scores low blocker's side, and the Thunder realize if it worked once, it may work again. LeBlanc scores low blocker's side to make it 3-1, then Ryan Bonney does it again. The Thunder up 4-1 at that point. Both teams would add one more late in the period as the Thunder not only finish first in Division 1, they also earn a bye right to Friday semifinals. We go back to the Civic for post-game reaction.
We were kind of nervous, and once we kind of settled down and controlled the puck, our game is puck control, and we definitely did that tonight. We were first 30 minutes, we were throwing the puck away blind. We know we have a skilled enough team that we know we have that extra second, and I think tonight we definitely took advantage of that.
It was a tight checking game there. We were back and forth. I don't know, it seemed the puck was bouncing around a little bit. Nobody really had any sustained pressure, and then yeah, we got one early in the third there, and we just kind of fed off that momentum, and we played well in the third.
I thought for 40 we were strong there. You know, being our first game, I thought we had a good start to the game. But, you know, it's some costly turnovers that was the difference in the third period. And when you're up against good players like that, they don't need a lot of time, and they found the back of the net. So, you know, we got to learn from that. It's our first game, and just we got to regroup here and clean those little areas up.
After scoring 4 times on the power play last night in a 7-4 win, Lloydminster Border Kings were also trying to earn themselves a bye straight to the semifinals as they wrapped up their round robin tonight against the Stony Plain Eagles. Blair Sahara, a big part for Stony Plain on their road to the Allan Cup. Steven De Silva, he's coming off a hat-trick 1 night ago. But it's Stony Plain, though, with the early chance. Brant Middleton picks up the rebound, but is unable to put the backhand away. Midway through the first, Blair Henney shows his inner Pavel Datsuk as he fakes the wraparound and stuffs it home to give the Eagles a 1-0 lead. In the second, Border Kings looking to tie things up on a 5-on-3 power play. Dallas Fallscheer is all by himself at the back door, but he rips it off the post. On the same man advantage, Lloyd gets it done. Aaron Phillips in the slot cashes in. This game is now tied up at 1. Border Kings looking for more. David Rathjen can't handle the initial shot. A scrum ensues in the crease. Beat Kings, though, can't bury it. Later on, bad news for the Eagles as it looks like Rathjen hurts his left leg on the play, and to make things worse, he has to stop a Giffen iron bomb. Rathjen would leave the game and did not return, so in comes backup Wade Waters, and he would be tested early on. Off the jaw, Phillips will cross the line and fire the rolling puck on net. Waters, though, there for the save. Waters would get help from his team on the power play. Sahara will tip it in by Chris Westbloom to restore the Eagles' 1-goal lead. But it's all Border Kings in the third. Corey Dubik with the beautiful tip makes it 2-2. Then with over 4 to play, Aaron Starr will put the loose puck away as Lloyd come back in the third period with 2 unanswered goals and go on to the 3-2 win. With the win, the Border Kings finish the round robin with a perfect 2-0 record. And as I mentioned earlier, they will advance straight to the semifinals on Friday. Let's go back to the Civic Center as NEWCAP's Moses Woldu has post-game reaction.
Facing another 1-goal deficit heading into the third period, the Border Kings came out and got a timely goal early and a big goal late by Aaron Starr to give the Border Kings a 3-2 win.
I didn't think we got off to the start that we wanted, and Stony came out flying. They finished all their hits, and I guess we picked it up near the end, and we dug deep, and we got her done.
First period, he looked a little tired. He looked a step behind, but you know his game got better as the game progressed for sure. And you know when you're that big and you're that strong, and you have a little knack for the net, you know some good things happen, and you know we're extremely pleased with his play.
We haven't played in a month, so it takes us a little while to get going. But once we get going, I think we're doing pretty good, and just got to keep battling. We'd like to have a way better start than we've had the last 2 games, but we'll take the victory at the end of the day.
We had that game, I think, for coming in the third there, and they had a nice goal in the tip, and then a bounce off the backboards comes right in a good shot. So we had our chances. I had a chance right in the slot that I felt I should have scored on, and I didn't. He made a great save and could have turned the game around right there, but that's hockey.
I think bits and pieces we played very well, and then bits and pieces we weren't moving our feet. So, culminated in a loss tonight, but the guys are pretty resilient. We got to come back tomorrow. We got a big game against Kenora, and I know the guys will be ready to go.
With the win, the Lloydminster Border Kings get much needed rest, 48 hours in fact. They go straight to the semifinals, and it should be interesting on Friday night. Reporting from the 2012 Allan Cup, I'm Moses Woldou with NEWCAP Sports.
When the Border Kings lost their captain Aaron Foster before the start of the tournament, it was a no-brainer as to who would be wearing the next C. Moses Woldou has more in today's edition of The Road to the Allan Cup.
Don't get too high, don't get too low, just stay even keel and see how it plays out in the end.
That seems to be Dallas Fallscheer's moniker. Never wavering, focused, relaxed. It was one of the reasons why Fallscheer was chosen captain.
He's just such a calm, composed man on the bench, on the ice, in the room. He just really gives the team, that quiet confidence.
For Fallscheer, it was a thrill to don the captaincy, but he says that hasn't changed the way he plays or the way he interacts with teammates.
Not at all. I think Stony put the A on me before, and right from day one when I came in here, probably I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, just use my experience, lead by example. I'm not the most vocal guy, probably maybe a little too negative on guys and a little too hard on guys at times, but I hope I got the respect in the room and guys will listen to me and be a strong leader for the team.
And that type of leadership is not lost.
Leads by example. He's a great player. That first pass, the power play, he's offensive. He does everything right.
This will likely be Fallscheer's last chance to win another Allan Cup. He's contemplated not returning next year and is soaking it all in.
It's probably been one of the most enjoyable years. I took last year off, and it's been pretty fun. The last 5 weeks have been a bit of a grind, doing a little bit of traveling back and forth from Cold Lake where I reside now, but it's throughout the year it's fun to get back at her, fun to do it at home, and pretty excited right now.
Moses Woldou, NEWCAP Sports.
The road to the Raider Well Servicing Allan Cup is brought to you by Fort Garry Industries Lloydminster. For parts, for trailers, Fort Garry Industries is the trucker's best friend.
And that is all the time I have for sports this evening. Stay tuned. Gerard has your Ag News next.